All right, welcome back, guys. I'm Titus, your host, with Thomas, my brother, on again, and we've got some good news to bring you, I think. Some of you may care, some of you may not, I don't know, but we want to share it with you because we did a podcast not too long ago, me, Thomas, and Travis, talking about the waders, the Sitka waders, and we both blew our crotches out. We're like within 2 weeks of each other, pretty much, and it's kind of weird. It just kind of happened to be Thomas was super stretched out, which we talked about that. He really probably needs to be in a large tall because he's 6'1", Thomas. I ask you this all the time.
Yeah, 6'2".
6'2", so he really needs to be in longer waders. So he's a little tight in the crotch, I think, right? I mean,
It's
not
just
uncomfortable.
It's a little low.
Okay.
Like, yeah, where it comes together, it's maybe a touch low. But it was a seam failure for both of us.
Yep.
Which we can talk about how Sitka took care of that.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to talk about in this episode. But if you want to go listen to that episode, it's episode 184. Man, I can't believe we're already basically 10 episodes past that. But the title is Leaky Sitka Waders, New Shotguns Hearing Loss. So if you haven't heard that one, you can hear what happened exactly. But with this one, we are going to talk about the Sitka wader warranty. This doesn't reference to any other article of clothing they have, just the waders, and we're going to talk about our experience. The experience is exactly the same pretty much, but I'm going to let Thomas, you go ahead and start first and tell everybody kind of the whole process of from start to finish, timelines, all that good stuff, and then I'll just kind of shortly go. There was some stuff that was a little different on mine, but go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to look up the timeline from when I sent my waders in to when I actually got them back.
Okay.
But as far as the whole process, it was actually a lot easier than I was thinking it was going to be. I don't really return stuff very often, but so essentially all you have to do if you have something fail on your waders, such as, a seam failure or maybe a puncture or a leaky boot, whatever it is. You just get on the website and there's a link on the website you click. It's the warranty, and you just put in some information. And the main thing that you get out of that is you get a RA number, and that's like the
return
number
authorization.
that,
yeah,
right. That's what they, that's how they track it, and that's how you can reference it and all that. You want to keep that. So they give you the number, and you basically print out a return label. If you have a printer at home, great. If not, you can go, I don't know, to a buddy's house or maybe Staples or whatever to get it printed. And I kept my wader box, which was nice to have to send it back in. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe some guys won't have their box. I'm sure you can get, that's not a big deal. I'm sure
I actually didn't have mine.
In a different box. But anyways, I just put mine in the original box. And actually, let me back up. Before you ship it, there's a couple things you got to do. You do have to take, do you remember how many pictures you have to take?
They give you a slot for 4, but they want your tag on the back of your waders. They want a picture of that, and they want a picture of the damage. They want a picture of the tag that's on the back inside the waders. They want a picture of the whole set of waders, like zoomed out where you can see all of it, and then they want a picture of the failure or tear or whatever it is.
Area. Yeah, so yeah, you have to take a couple pictures, which that's really easy. I mean, all this can be done on a cell phone.
That's what I did.
In a matter of probably 5 minutes, honestly. You can do it on a computer too, but then you'd have to put them from your phone to your computer. So honestly, easiest way is probably just to use the good old iPhone. Take a couple pictures, fill in your personal information, and you print that RA. You print the return label, and you take it down there, and it's paid shipping, right? It's paid return. So you don't even have to pay any money. You send it back to them. They scan that return code, and that's it. You drop it off. You can have tracking on it. I mean, because anything that's worth, $1,000,
Mm-hmm.
you're not gonna want to lose it, right? So you can have tracking on it, and I think so. Where ours got sent, we're here in California, so where ours got sent was to a place. I think it was closer to the Bay
It was
Area.
no, it was Arcata, I think, right? Wasn't it Arcata?
I don't
I'm
know
pretty
if
sure,
mine went
dude.
there.
No, you went to the
Yeah,
same
that
place.
sounds familiar. Yeah, it does sound familiar.
I gotta look what email mine so I can tell you for sure. But I'm pretty sure it was ARCATA. I know it's northern coast California.
Yeah.
It's like
So
6-7 hours from here
it
north.
didn't take very long, and they sent me an email that they received them.
Mm.
Now, like I said, I'm gonna look up that timeline to see
Or maybe it was
how long it was
Arcadia.
till they.
Was it Arcadia? I think it was Arcata.
I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, um, yeah. I mean, basically, like I said, I'll look the timeline up, but it really wasn't very long until I had them back. Do you want me to go over what all they did, or do you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So essentially, like you said, I didn't get any holes or any leaks, like anything like that, but the seam and crotch ripped open.
Mm-hmm.
So they basically um, resewed all of that up. They actually replaced the zipper, and they seam taped the whole thing, like literally from the back, from about mid back. There's a seam right there,
Mm-hmm.
all the way down up under the crotch and then into the zipper. Like that all had brand new seam tape, new zipper, and new stitching.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then they do a couple other things too. I know that they check for leaks while it's there, but other than that, really, there's nothing else going on with my waders. So, yeah, I mean, they sent it back in the box, and they give you a tag of the repairs that they did. I mean, you can see for yourself, but
Yep.
and that was it. All
Yeah.
for a whopping $0.
Yeah, there you go. There's the magic word right there. Right there's
Yep.
the magic word.
Mm-hmm.
And just as promised, just as advertised. And again, that was a seam failure, so that actually had to do with manufacturer. I guess I don't know if the defect's the right word or maybe a weakness, in that. But the fact is $0. Now, what was start time you sent off to Finn when you received them back, give or take?
Yeah, I'm looking that up right now.
Okay, I'll talk then
Go
while
ahead and start on yours. Yeah, I'll find it.
Because mine is a little different on some of it's the same, and there's some other things they did to me that was even way huger than what they did for you, Thomas, and I was blown away. In fact, Harrison's, if you're listening to this, you're going to be laughing right now because I just sold you those waders, but he was going to Harrison was going to get him anyways, just hearing what happened. So anyways, those waders are 3 years old, I believe, and we all know the Sitka Delta Zip waders are $999.99. Okay, and by the time you pay for shipping and taxes, what are you walking out the door, Thomas? $1,100, probably with shipping and taxes. Maybe
well, I bought
10.
mine in a store, but yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't do that.
Tax here in California is a little over 8%. So
where'd you buy yours at?
At Kittles.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you saved right there. Yeah, if you can get them in store, that's the way to do it. I just didn't do that. So I had to pay the shipping. Actually, I take that back. I didn't pay for shipping because I ordered them on Rogers Sporting Goods, and if you spent over a certain amount, the shipping was free. So really, yeah,
somewhere
same thing.
around $87 tax here in California.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, you're looking around 1,100.
So I did mine before when we were up north. I tore mine stepping over the super high log. I kind of knew I shouldn't have did that. He was just stretching myself. I'm not that limber, and I was overstretching myself, and then it tore. Anyways, you listen to the other story or the other podcast, you can hear that. But I sent mine off, and they sent me. It took about a day or two to get the free label to put on. I did not save my box, which I'll remember not to do that next time, because if you want to send it in it's just easier instead of you having to buy one. I actually had to buy a box to ship it in. Luckily, I had something from Amazon. I just used an Amazon box, put the label on, sent it off, and didn't hear nothing for a long time. Now, meanwhile, you're way ahead of me in this game, Thomas. So you still hadn't heard nothing, but you called them.
Okay, so I do have the dates now.
Okay.
Okay, so when I did the online warranty submission, that was March 21st.
Okay.
So that's when I submitted it and I got my RA number and all that. I don't have which day that I shipped it, but I did get an email from them saying when they received the warranty, and that was May 31st.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 weeks. So that's
Okay, so
2.5 months.
So this is what happened. You know, I could care less about trying to make it sound better or worse
Right,
or all that.
right.
I just want to give the facts. So I believe that when I did that, it was probably maybe a couple days to a week later when I shipped that from a FedEx, I think, or
Okay.
UPS store.
Mhm.
And I did actually call Sitka for one reason. They actually sent me two. I can't remember if they gave me two RA numbers or if they gave me two different places to ship my waders.
Mhm.
So it wasn't difficult. I'm sure it doesn't happen to everyone. I don't think it happened to you.
Mhm.
But I called them and said, "Hey, I just want to make sure that I ship this to the right place. Which one of these do I need to use?" And he told me within a matter of a couple minutes. And then he also kind of explained the process to me a little more in depth. But I think, you know, this date of 5/31, I think that's not when they actually receive the item. I believe that's like when they actually that got to like them working on it, or
Mhm.
closer to
Mhm.
them, you know, starting the process to work on it.
Yeah.
Because just like I said with the tracking, you can see when that package got there, and it was within, you know, a week to 2 weeks tops. I don't even think that long. But once I got that email of them saying received warranty, that was on the 31st. So that was May 31st, which is a Tuesday. And let me check here, on 6/13, they completed the work. So, you know, basically 2 weeks, they had it done, and I'm sure it headed out the door to me.
Mhm.
I might have a picture of when it got back to me, but like I said, so by the time I got from one email to the next, it was a 2 week thing.
Yeah. And
But
in California, it's only 2 days it took to ship by the time they told you it was going to ship. That's what mine was.
right. So, you know, it's not extremely fast, I wouldn't say. But I mean, it's not bad either. And I would imagine it's a different timeline, you know, in different times of year. I know
Well,
summertime, it's
wait a
probably,
second. You're saying 2.5 months is not bad timeline?
no, I'm saying from them starting on it
Oh, right.
to finishing it, two
Yeah, but
weeks.
what I'm sure people are thinking right now is like, my goodness, 2.5 months, you know, which I agree.
Right,
I'm with them. I'm with them.
right.
Right. Okay.
Uh-huh. Well,
Because
now,
here's the thought
okay,
that goes through our mind. What's going to happen during duck season? Now I have the answer for you. Kevin, our buddy, he can tell you himself, and then maybe I'll have him on later and talk about it. But he had his back in 10 days in the middle of season. He has old waders that he keeps as a backup. I don't know what brand they are, but he keeps them as a backup because the Sitka ones are his main ones. And he
hmm
said, I sent him and got him back in 9 days.
hmm and that's what I was saying. I think they probably do have different timelines or
Mm,
different staffing levels because, you know, if that's in the middle of season, then yeah, you're kind of in a bind for
mm,
sure. But luckily, that was like at the very end of season for me. So
mm-hmm.
yeah, that's. I know that would be something people would be asking, like, man, it's going to take that long,
Yeah.
and this and that.
But when does
Um,
everybody send their waiters in that has them that's going to get them checked? Because a lot of people are
right,
sending them in just to make sure everything's good for the next season. So probably hundreds,
hmm
if not thousands,
right,
maybe. I don't know.
uh huh.
So we sent
Yeah,
him
and like
at
I
the
said,
absolute probably busiest time, which I'm not, again, like Tom said, I'm not making any excuses or I'm not trying to cover for him. That is, to me, 2.5 months is a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really care because I'm not going to do nothing. Now, if I had to do that during season, yeah, I'd be scared next time to send him in during season. I'm like, unless I talk to somebody like Kevin that says, hey, I've been there, done that. If you have a backup pair of cheap waders to cover you, you'll get it back quick, So I can't confirm that, right? Neither one of us have talked to anybody at Sitka saying that that's what they do. But I do know people that have had them and got them back quick during season.
Mm-hmm.
So, but on my experience, for what I had done. So anyways, I had sent mine off and I said, I took a picture of the crotch, took a picture of the tag, took a picture of the waders as a whole, and I sent an inside shot of the crotch too. I don't know why. So I sent 4 pictures and then said, hey, in the notes, asking what you need to say about it. I said I got seam failure, which is some pop downs you click on to say that anyways, but I put in there, I said I'm leaking through the crotch. So I just let them know, hey, I put a bunch of the what's that stuff called, Thomas? The clear stuff. The rubber, like it's like rubber
seal.
Aqua Seal. Just wanted to let them know, hey, I put a bunch of that on there. Sorry if it's a pain to get off, but I had to get myself through the end of season. And then I said, on my right foot, I'm not sure if there's a leak, but it feels like my foot's getting a little moist, and it's not from sweat. It was like there was definitely something going on in my right foot. I just wanted them to check that, whether I had to pay for it or not. Obviously, right? That's something I did to it, wear and tear. So I sent it off, same timelines as Thomas. Thomas was like 2 or 3, you were like 2 or 3 weeks ahead of me, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally sent mine off, so it was kind of nice seeing what Thomas was experiencing before, because he was like, man, they haven't said nothing to me. They haven't said they got him, nothing. And then he called him and said, yeah, we got him, whatever. So I ended up not worrying. I just kind of watched what happened to him. I never called or nothing because he was ahead of me. Anyways, mine was the same thing, the same timeline as Tom says. As soon as they sent me that email, which says that they were processing, let me go to it real quick. I think that's not that one. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it. But they said, oh, here it is right here. This is when we believe that they're actually working on it. And I don't know why I said $999.99 because on this tag it says $949. It's interesting. Huh. Anyways, it says received warranty. Your warranty request has been received and is being processed. And what me and Thomas figured out is that's when they actually are starting to work on them. It has to be because it's received and now it's being processed. So obviously that's what they're doing. And then from that point on, it was 2 weeks, right, Thomas, before they came to the door, basically, I believe?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, when I got mine in, kind of had already seen what they did to Thomas's, and I was like, cool, like new zipper, which there was nothing wrong with mine. I don't think there was nothing wrong with yours, was there? Your zipper?
No, not that I know of. Huh?
But what we kind of are thinking is to do the seam in the crotch, they have to take the zipper off, I think. That's my guess. Maybe not. I could be wrong. But I got a new zipper. That whole seam was sewed, and you could tell it was where it was fixed. And then they did the seam tape, brand new seam tape, basically from the zipper, close to the zipper, all the way up to the middle of the back, pretty much like Thomas was saying. Same stuff. Cleaned off pretty much all of that Aqua Seal, everything that was tacky from that. And then, well, this is the part that just sent me over the top with this warranty. Okay, and on the tag that they sent me, they were saying all the stuff they did, and then they said new boots. And I was like, uh-oh, here we go. Because those are like $250, $300. And I could tell because I thought, man, these boots are clean. I know I cleaned them really good because they want you to make sure your waders are nice and clean before you send them in. And I really cleaned them good. I took a brush to them. I was like, they were not this clean. So I'm thinking they must have like shined them up for me or something. And then on the tag it said brand new size 10 boots. And I'm like, what? And on the tag it said that they had found a small cut on the left inside of the right foot, and it was leaking from there. So they replaced the boots. Guess what? For zero charge. That is not part of the warranty deal. And maybe Sitka will want, if they ever hear this or hear people say, hey, I heard on this podcast, you guys do that. I don't know if that's normal, if that's what they normally do. But to me, that was not a warranty issue. I think I might have lost Thomas. That was not.
No, I touched you on mute for a second.
Uh,
I was doing something pretty loud.
got some cows in the
But
background.
yeah,
That's not a
that's
That's not a warranty issue. That's
that's
wear and tear
awesome.
on me.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah,
I
I
was
mean,
just
I don't think anybody would
expect that.
be like, oh, that's a warranty thing if you
Right.
have a hole. You know what
I
I
know
mean? That's wear
exactly
and
when I
tear.
did that too. When we were in the river hunting and there was majorly sharp, jagged rocks, and I kept stumbling and tripping, and I seen it slice up my boots pretty bad. And so I wasn't expecting them to do that for free. I was like, I'll just pay for it. Just if there's a leak, I want it fixed. Is all. I don't care. They stinking did it for free. It's like, how
Yeah.
do you beat that? Like
Yep.
that's to me right there. They're already. If something ever happens again and they charge me for the boots, I feel like I'm okay with paying for that. You know.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
because they already did something that you didn't expect them to.
Nor do they say on their site, dude. They don't say
Yeah.
that on their site that they're going to do that. They tell you how much that's going to cost.
Mhm.
And again, I don't know if that's normal. I don't know if we're kind of the beginning phases of how much warranties are being done or what. But I just really I can respect that a company like that that is very professional, is high quality, will stand behind it and take care of that stuff right there. That speaks volumes to me. How long that will last, I don't know. Will they still be doing that 5 years from now? I don't know. But if you would have got on the bandwagon, people would have got on the bandwagon, excuse me, I can't even talk, 3 to 5 years ago or whatever it was when they originally came out 3 or 4 years ago, you had already bought yourself a brand new pair of waders, the money people are spending that they have to do every season because they're tearing theirs up. And again, I shouldn't paint with a broad brush because some people, if you're only hunting 5 or 10 times a year, you probably can make your waders last 3 to 4 years,
Mhm.
You're
Yeah.
hunting 30 to 60 times a year, that's a little different story. And the
Yeah.
environments you hunt in.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and then I think most people do understand that, but if not, that really is something to think about too. It's like how much you're using it. I'm sure you're a little more willing to pay more when you're hunting more. I know if somebody's maybe their first year, they don't even
yeah, right.
know if they like to duck hunt, or maybe if
Yeah, no way.
they only go when this friend goes or something like that. That's one thing, but you're putting a lot of time and miles into these. I know a lot of guys that duck hunt pretty hard, and it's like they're on their third pair of waders in the last 4 years or whatever, and it's like it's already paid. They've already paid for themselves, So and it was the same with me. I think I had 3 pairs of waders before I bought Sitka. So
Right.
and they didn't last. I think 2 of them lasted 2 years, and the other one lasted like 1 year. So, and you can't really buy what I would call cheap waders anymore. I mean, even the cheaper waders are on the high end of $200,
Yeah.
$300.
Yeah, $225 with shipping taxes, whatever, if you
Right.
buy it online. But I mean, yeah, to me, mid-grade waders are $400.
Right.
So, and that mid-grade does not mean lasting time that it lasts. It means like, oh, the boots are a little nicer and there's some cool features and pockets and buckles and blah, 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 But I don't know, again, Sitka doesn't know about us or don't care about us. They don't give us nothing. Like, there's no reason. We're just telling you, we're giving experience because I know a lot of people want updates on this, and I'm not really probably going to do any more videos on it. People are asking for when I originally made the first video, I said, hey, I'm going to update every year about these and the warranty. But that's the nice thing about this podcast is I can just kind of do it on here and long form talking, But maybe I'll share this one and say, hey, this is how the waders are going, and this is what happened when we had to use a warranty. It's like, how do you, as of right now, how do you beat that? You can't. There's no, now, well, I better not say that, but there's only one other pair, and I won't speak of that yet, but we'll probably talk about it at some point. It's too early in the game, but there is another pair of waders that are newer that I was really impressed with the boots. I don't know what brand they are. I just tried them on to test for somebody. Thomas did too, right? They're pretty comfortable, didn't you think?
Yeah.
I would say they're really close to Sitka's, but anyways, we know if anybody's wore any lacrosse stuff, you know that they're comfortable. So, I mean, they just put a quality boot on there, which is a really big thing, and then dealing. And we don't baby our waders. I do you feel like you baby yours?
No, I mean, I don't.
No, I'm
I'm
talking
not
about
afraid
while
to
you're
use them,
while
but
you're hunting in
no,
them.
I don't ever think of my waders often.
No. Now, when I put them up for the season, I clean them and wash them good, which you should do that with any. And then I like hang them where I'm not crumpling them up in the bottom of the closet or putting them in the garage where it gets hot, super hot, so the rubber wears out. But what, like all hunting season, I don't sit there and I don't baby them. I don't iron them before every hunt. You know, it's like
you don't sleep with them.
Not at least not after the first year. You know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Is there anything else we could say about that whole situation? Like, I mean, not really. I think we covered everything.
No, I mean, that's
Save
it.
your
I mean,
box. Save your box.
Yeah.
If you need to sip them, that's the best thing to put them in, and I think that's probably the best. I didn't save mine. But they did send me mine back in an old someone else's waiter box they had laying around, whatever, and just taped it up, and that's how I got mine back because I didn't send it to them in a waiter box. I think I could throw one thing in here basically at the end of this podcast, this episode, is I would definitely buy a waiter bag, and I think that goes for any waiters. Thomas started using one a long time before I did because I was like, I was always using neoprenes, and I just throw them in the back of the truck, you know. But if I would have really paid attention and used waiter bag earlier, I probably would have, to keep them, hopefully, and make them last longer, I would have did that a long time ago because waiter bags are dirt cheap. They're like $40. And I have I think it's cupped waterfowl waiter bag, and I just throw my Sitka waders inside there, zip it up, and it has air vents all around it. And then when I get home, I take them out so they can air out, because we all know if you keep them closed up, being moist and wet, they stink. Get that mold smell and all that. Yeah. But other than that, I mean, the boots dry out really well. I don't know about day to day if you're sweating the bad, but like if I hunt on Saturday and then go Wednesday, they're bone dry as long as I let them sit out and unzip them, you know. But
yeah, I rarely use that homemade waiter dryer that we made. I do use it sometimes.
Probably when we're hunting every day, huh? Like out of town.
If I'm gonna hunt every single day, a lot of times I'll take it, because if I do happen to fall in and get like completely soaked, I'll know that I'll be able to have a completely dry waiter by the next day. And because, you know, some of these places, it'll be really cold, so it's not like you can, you know.
Well, that's miserable anyways, stepping into wet waders first thing in the morning, you know. Right.
So you can try to warm them up with other stuff, but I know that thing just works so well. So I usually take that, and that way I know we'll have dry waders. Because, you know, a lot of times we're going with 2, 3, 4 guys, and that just increases your chances of somebody getting water in the waders, you know.
Well, and you found that idea, right? On where'd you find that idea to make that?
It was online.
And then we made a video of it. So if you guys want to check, you just have to go back like a year or two ago, and you can see where we made this PVC pipe waiter dryer, and it's amazing. Jake and them took mine because I never have used it since I got these waders. But like you said, there is a time I've regretted it. I'm like, man, I like fell over and got stuff in. I wish I would have had it, but
yeah, I think I fell in the water like at least, I know for sure once. I think twice though, this last year. So
yeah, it's good to keep. Yeah, I was in one of those modes cleaning my garage out. I just started chucking it. Yeah, like come get this or it's going in the garbage. You know how I am.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I think that covered everything. So yeah, thanks for coming on, and thanks everybody for listening in. And just kind of giving an update. Again, we're not trying to sell anybody. Like Tom said, it's not. This is just who we are. We always just like to share the info and help people because those questions get asked a lot. So again, rate us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, write a review, tell us your thoughts, write us an email, themvmshowpodcast@gmail.com if you want. And thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you on the next one.